Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with fabulous concert programs number 54. This is the second in our 5 Sibelius specials, wherein we figure out ways to play some of the less heard Sibelius symphonies. I don't know why they're less heard. They're all marvelous, and there aren't so many of them, and they're not so long that you can't do it, but people don't. So this is also an all-finished program, like the first one was. And I think this is really, it has a very interesting concept after the intermission. The work in question, the basic proximate work in question, is Symphony No. 6. Very difficult work to program because, first of all, it's very tough for the strings to play, actually. It's also very short. It's about 23, 24 minutes long in 4 movements, and it ends softly. It does everything wrong. The only problem is that it's just amazing. I mean, it's glorious music, but it's very, very hard to figure out what to do with. And so I have the solution. You put it on the second half, and you play it together with Symphony No. 7. Because 7 is more popular, it's somewhat well known, but it's also very difficult to program because it's a single movement, only 20 minutes long. And so if you put it together with No. 6, you get about 42 minutes. You get actually the length of a Brahms or a Dvorak symphony, a normal sort of romantic symphony length. And the works go so well together. I mean, they're clearly cut from the same cloth, similar cloth anyway. They're Sibelian, to the nth degree, but they're very different in structure and in sonority and in how and in the emotional sort of trajectory of each. The 7th, of course, ends with one of the most noble endings that Sibelius ever wrote. It's a gorgeous way to end the concert. And they go so well together. Why don't people play them together like this? That way you get even more fabulous Sibelius and you get the 6th. That was my epiphany. Maybe people have done it before. I'm sure they have, but I haven't heard it. And except on recordings or when I do it at home. So there you go. Symphonies 6 and 7 on the second half. Now on the first half, we begin with an overture-type piece, Aulus Sallinen's brief orchestral work Shadows, based on music from his opera The King Goes Forth to France. This is just a beautiful, beautiful contemporary piece by a composer who I don't think is dead. In fact, I don't think anybody on the first half is dead, which is kind of amazing for a classical concert. It has one of the most lovely tunes in Sallinen's output or anyone else's. It's really, really beautiful. And it makes a perfect concert opener. It's dark, it's brooding, it's suspenseful. And the second work on the program is by Magnus Lindberg, who is just fabulous. He's one of the great living composers, without a doubt. He's written tons of fine music, a bunch of wonderful concertos, including this, his Piano Concerto No. 2, which shows the clear influence and his interest, and a little quotation from Ravel. It doesn't exactly sound entirely like Ravel, but it has that French clarity. And Lindberg has evolved from being sort of a wild-eyed, avant-garde, creature in works such as Kraft and some other things, through a sort of kinetic, almost neoclassical but texture or quasi, I don't know what it was. It was Lindberg. That's what it was. It's impossible to categorize it, but he has a very characteristic sound. And now he's in his more tonal, lyrical phase, as all sane composers wind up being as they get more and more experienced, and they learn how to manipulate music, and they want their music to express more and include more. And the second piano concerto is just marvelous. It's wonderful. It's a brilliant work, full of crystalline sounds, and wonderful writing for the soloist, and you really should hear it. And you can on recordings, because you'll never hear it live. Just a wonderful composer. So you've got these 2 fantastic contemporary finished works on the first half of the program, and then you go away for intermission, and you come back, and you get Sibelius 6 and 7, which I think is just a great payoff. Isn't it? Isn't it just like like double your money's worth. It's fantastic. And the thing that makes it even more wonderful is that none of this is of unreasonable length. I mean, the Sallinen is like, what is it, 8 or 9 minutes long, and the Lindberg, okay, half an hour. That's the first part. And the Sibelius, 40 minutes, 45 minutes max. And you're home. And you really feel like it gives you a lot of bang for your buck. Let's put it that way. It really does. So keep on listening, friends. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care.